Ikaw talaga, pipilitin mo na naman si Kuya Nico eh, no? Tangina mo
Ano
dun
lang, di ko pa napanood yun eh, yung live na yan. I mean, yung ano.
Ito, never to. Okay.
Di ko pa
Changed
napanood.
OG being an all-Philippine organization. Nico is no longer here, and you now have Toronto, Tokyo. And a lot of people are wondering. There's a lot of debate as well because for a lot of fans, I was speaking to Varys yesterday. Of course, everyone on the outside is going to have a differing opinion to someone on the inside. But can you give us a bit of insight as to why that change actually happened?
Yeah, I've seen this like clips on
Full ba yan?
Facebook of like Nikko
Oh, yan
scan.
lang yan.
Ano yun, boss ko?
Full. 1 hour. 1 hour.
1 hour daw to,
1
boss
hour
ko
yan?
eh. Oo, 1 hour daw.
I'm like kind of airing out stuff and all, but I think the truth is like, so we had this break in January, and basically for the whole of January, like Nikko was missing. He barely played any Dota, and then we go to bootcamp. This is like some 5 day before Blast bootcamp, so like obviously we're expected to be ready and like playing pubs and like already ready to scrim, But this guy, he wasn't, and on the first like 2-3 days, he just plays pubs, he does his thing and then scrim, and then he goes back to his room at like 8 p.m. And I see this like this stuff like, oh, where he wakes up early to exercise and all. That's like, fuck that. Okay, you don't play pubs the whole of January. I'm so sorry. And you come to bootcamp and you're not fucking ready, and there's no extra effort to be ready. So I think that was like a big fuck you to all of us on the team, and everyone's like grinding, everyone's putting in effort, and you have this teammate that he did not put in effort at home. Okay, fine. You come to bootcamp, put in double the amount, make sure you're ready. No, he's the first to go to sleep. He's not spamming pubs.
Listen, guys, I have this Dota 2 commentator in my house, right? YouTube and
not good. And that's, I think that was like very hard for us to deal with at the start. So we had to like he was very professional about it. When I talked to him, it's like, hey, can you like not go back to your room sort of thing? It's like, okay, and that was like kind of it, And then after that, I think I wouldn't say lack of ideas. I think he felt like this pressure in the team where like no one wants to listen to him. Like there are in many instances, he just asked like, hey Nick, what do you want to play? What do you like to play? And he didn't really have an answer. Like there was never a time where he had like, hey, I want to play this because blah blah blah. Like he was not good at putting into words like why I think this hero is good, or like what do I want with this hero. He's like he's a very instinctive player. And so as a coach, like my understanding of him is like he's good at ABC, and I should try to use ABC as the best to our advantage. Because when Nikko was a beast in our team, we were early picking his Mars, his Centaur, his Primal. His Primal is probably one of the best in the world until today. And then one day I pick Mars. He's like, I'm not ready to play this hero. I don't want to play this hero. So okay, there you go. Cut one hero down. The 3 or 4 heroes, one down. Then there's this one game we play Centaur. It's like I don't practice this hero in pubs. And like I watch him play pubs. He plays Bat, he plays Largo, which are banned all the time. So if you're playing the 2 heroes that are banned and you're not practicing heroes that like, like I think I brought this up with the team many times. It's like, why are we not trying heroes that we think are like heroes that we are good at? We should find a way to make it work. You need to bang the wall a bit. And you see if the wall breaks or you break. It's either or, right? You can't just come in. Like, the first day of the patch before January, before scrim, I was like, I think Primal's still pretty good hero. It's like, oh, no one's playing Primal shit. And then a few days later, Marine plays Primal, and like, oh, we're back on Primal again, But I'm like, fuck, you're the Primal player. Like, can you go play Primal like 3 games and figure it out? Like, why is it so difficult, I really hate like that. It's such a... Why is it so hard to just put in effort, go play, and go figure it out? Like I can't accept that you don't try. It's not a real answer to me. You can't read this patch note. You can't be like fucking Albert fucking Einstein and be like, oh, this is good, this is bad. Because that's not how Dota works. Dota is, my Opach is like such a good Queen of Flame player. He's gonna go bang his head on Queen of Flame 50 times, or like Sneaking is the only one playing Chen now. Like I'll use examples from outside team. He's the only one playing Chen, and they're winning with it. Why? Because he plays it in pubs, he bangs his head against the wall and be like, hey, this is what's different. Now these things have to change in the game. I play this way, maybe I farm less, maybe my lane is less strong, I need someone to carry me. And there's like actual conversation, actual solutions, actual problems, but these issues were a bit more difficult. Obviously the blame is not fully on Nikko, but I think from at least, I don't know about team perspective, but from my perspective, like he failed in a professional extent. Like it was not it,
Yeah.
He was the least hardworking on the team when it came to that.
Chip ha, chip.
I
Pag
think
tinash ako, chip ha.
I
Ako
felt like
yun.
he didn't
Ako
have
bahala
anything
sa'yo.
when
Ako
he
bahala
played
sa'yo.
Pops.
Pag
Like,
binanggit agad
fast
yun,
forward mo na lang.
honest,
pag
like,
binanggit yung
when he
Natsumi,
happened
Ah.
to Lago,
gawin
I
ko
felt like
agad.
I look at
Kaya
Kaya
Lago,
di ka pa
he plays
makinig.
hero
Eh,
three
paano
times,
pag
he'll be like,
compliment?
okay, you go lane.
Hindi,
Your lane's not
pagdating mo,
weak.
paano
Okay,
mo
go
na
back
agad?
to the right side of the
Forward mo
triangle
agad.
from the two camps. Then
Okay,
you fight
okay.
one, you're like, guys, let's go, guys. Aga, woo. Then you press space bar. Like, how many times do you need to grind this? You know, there are heroes in game that you need to play like 100 games, like Naga, like maybe Primal or Puck. You know, these heroes, they require like a lot of effort to like get good. And Largo is just this. It's a brain dead character. Like, I'm sorry to say, like, that's just the truth, you know. So like, I need intent. He plays bad, so many bad in pubs, and then I didn't pick bad at the time, and Scam was like, Nikko keeps playing bad, we should play bad, and then we play bad rider, and then he buys bearings, and I'm like, okay. Then our first conversation, like at the start of it, it wasn't just one time. I think Scam says like we picked it once and he gave up, but that's not true. We picked it like 5-6 times. The first 2 times is like our conclusion is like he buys bearing, and when he has this bearing, it's like we don't do anything with it. It's like a farming item. And then to me, like my solution is like, okay, I think there's 2 things with bearing. One is like it allows you to like smoke
Oh.
because obviously it's a strong item on bat, and that's kind of like some OPS hero.
Ang
And
dalag.
number 2 is bearing lets you play deeper against heroes that like are harder to reach you. Like you can push the lane further, you know, which enables your team. So I'm like, okay, let's get bearing and we can make either of these things, you know. And for whatever reason it is, I think again this is like maybe related to like what happened earlier, like team pressure, you know, a bit of like calling out from like each other on the team, and it reached a point where he can't even say like, guys, I have bearing soon. You know,
Wala ba live
it's like he
Yeah.
went from player that like, guys, I got dagger, let's smoke, to I have dagger, to nothing. He just pinged his item, 300 gold. That's all. There's no improvement. There's no what, like, how can you scrim 6 games on Bear Rider? And my requirement is that you make a plan with your boost of bearing. It's so simple, right? Like
Yeah.
when I say it out, it's like it's unreal. It's like if I watch a replay and I go like, hey, this guy used boost of bearing like this, maybe I can do this, and then you go into it, it's like then 6 games later he's like, I don't want to play bad anymore. Because he felt like the team has no confidence in him. But yeah, fuck yeah, I have no confidence in you. And like I can't speak for my team, but like you can't do this basic thing. Like how can you even play Dota? How can you like let's change the hero, let's play Mars, let's play Primal. If you have Blink and you don't tell your team like, guys, I have Blink, let's do this, like then what? You know, what's the
Yeah.
point of like playing, you know? And I think this was like a very deep issue to me.
Ang init.
And it came, at least what I believe is that it came from conversations.
Tao na init ni Adam dito Maano na ba to si Adam? Medyo malakas yung voice niya sa OG.
I mean, di naman. Mabait yan si Adam. Di
Gago.
ba na-coach mo din yan?
Oo,
Sa boom?
sa Bombite nito gago. Hindi nga
Mabait yan.
baka mainit lang siya nung araw na to, no? Gago, di makabasag pinggan tayo si Adam. So, mabait kaya nito.
Prior where he felt like the team didn't believe in him. But I also feel like he has to take accountability that the team didn't believe in him because we saw his work ethic before Aureus formed, after we qualified, and then after so the first iteration before, was it before OG? Yeah, at Dream League. So after Aureus, like our previous interview, like before he didn't play many pubs already. And we addressed this issue before we went home in December after Dream League. We're like, okay guys, like obviously Nick, like I was gonna tell you this, like we all have a problem with this, the fact that you don't play enough. You know, you're not asking him to like fucking stay home his whole break and play Dota, but like he barely plays. And it's not good enough because Dota is a game of habits.
Yeah.
And he told us basically like he wants to. Okay, so the timeline was that, and then he said, "Okay, I will play more." And in January, we go home on December 21st. 3rd week of January, 1 week before we fly. I asked him why he's not playing PUBG. He said he's jet lagged. And I'm just like, what the fuck, man? There's just no. Like obviously I didn't say this, and like
Yeah.
I try to be like I try to be much more understanding and kind of my players, you know. I'm like, okay, he's like this, he doesn't really want to play at home, maybe it's not productive for him. Maybe he'll work harder when he comes to bootcamp. He comes to bootcamp and first day he goes to bed at like 8 PM. And like he's not ready for scrims, and like we all feel it, you know. Like it's disgusting. It's a very disgusting feeling for everyone because they have worked for the past 2 weeks. They gave up for the holiday and this guy, he comes in and he's like there's just no work ethic. It's not like, hey guys, I'm playing back, give me 2 days, you know, let me grind, you know. No, he's just fucking not even in the practice room at 8 PM. And you know, I'm saying this because I feel so many things they need context. There's just this conversation I see online about like, oh, I go to sleep at 8 PM and the team didn't like it. That's not fucking true. That's not the problem. If he played like a normal Dota player as for
Nanonood din pala na Chip.
Nakikita yung mga clip yan? Nakikita. Gago sa paggalit ni Adam, talaga ganun. Tangina kasi mga fake news yun eh. Na-rage bait din ata ng mga fake news, tol. Hindi, yung, baka meron lang talagang mga kumakalat na mga, Tangina
Mga clip.
mga
Mga
clip
clips
na, minsan kasi naiintindihan din mga 8 PM Tangina, nakakatawa yun
He is performing like he can go to sleep at fucking 6 p.m. I don't care, like, but the requirement is not being met and the effort is not being seen. And in a team where we value our work ethic, I think especially the 4 players, even more than me, even more than manager, it's very painful for them and it affects them in a way. It's like I'm putting in so much effort and this guy doesn't want it as much, and it shows, like it just shows. He doesn't watch replays. I mean, he very rare. Okay, like he'll watch replay. To me, it's like I think offlane in Dota, to be honest, is the most cheating role because it's so simple. You watch 33, you watch armor, you watch collapse. They basically cover the whole offlane hero pool in Dota. It's good enough. You don't even have to play pubs. Pubs are like for you to build habits and like
Yeah.
refresh. But like if you want ideas, it's so easy. You just watch his replay and press play. Oh, why did he do this? Oh, why does he understand it this way? Why did he not use this timing here? Is it a team play style? Like, can we use it? That kind of thing. But he's
Tag
just
mo
a
kasi
much
Skim
more
Dota, nanonood mo
grind
dyan.
and
Let's go.
instinctual player. I put it that way.
Tag mo.
And
Wait lang,
Eh,
refresh
tag mo.
ko.
like I said, when the team
Refresh ko.
started
Scam
doing
Dota 1,
not so
2,
well,
3.
like it kept coming back to this.
Ay, hindi nanonood.
And
Hindi nanonood.
it was very hard to deal with.
Wala ka na siguro.
And the
Yung
truth
game
is,
player.
the rest of them,
Nadyan,
Dito eh.
nag-comment. Pakisan daw si Scam
Andyan,
Dota.
andyan.
Oo, nag-comment. Si Scam Dota 1, 2, 3, tol. Tama naman na eh.
Ilang oras ba yan? 1 hour?
Wala mo
Sakto,
nang
1
tagal.
hour na lang kulang ko. Kota na. Hey,
Ano
Yeah,
yun?
yeah.
play mo.
change our playstyle a little. We tried to
Tangina naman, tol. Tangina
play
talaga.
different heroes, and at the same time, it's like you even have a hero list, and it's like 6 heroes. Like, okay, fine, 6 is enough, And like, fuck, where's our Mars? My mid player is still a good Mars. Why is my offlane not playing Mars? Like, why is it so hard? Why are we losing our heroes? It's like during the patch, like, I even told your patch about this. Like, Monkey King is like, it got buffed a bit. Why is no one
Yeah.
playing Monkey? It's like, oh, no one's really playing Monkey. I'm like, or like even Kunka. Like, I always talk to him about Kunka because I think his Kunka is like really, really good. And there will be situations where these heroes are pickable, but it's up to us to make it to a level where like we can play against hard matchups, right? Like it's not just basic Dota where it's like, oh, Puck Void Spirit. If you pick Void Spirit against Mikoto Puck, I feel like he doesn't care, just as an example. And like I feel like it's our job or like our responsibility as players, as professionals to try to chase that,
Yeah.
is to be strong to a point. And I think like example, like 33-1 TI doing that. It's like, okay, I play Beast against Naga. Everyone picks Naga counter Beast. It's like, oh, I buy Helm 2 and I farm. Haha. 15 minutes, I have Dragon. Naga do nothing. I take Roshan. I win, It's because you develop an understanding of a matchup to the point where the counter pick from maybe some 6-4, you make it 5-5. And that's a small win and it affects the game in a big way because your whole drafting strategy is based around you like winning in a certain way or like having an advantage, and you just don't have it. And you're like, what do I do now? You have this like timing where you take a team fight and it's just gone. And don't get me wrong, like I like Nikko as a person. I think in a different team he might have like more success, but that's the reason that led to our kick. I think like everything was very misaligned. I feel like maybe misaligned is the wrong word, but they're just very different personalities, and his personality didn't fit. Like we talked about it at the start. Yeah. So when we went back in January, like we had a talk with Johan. Johan was talking to us, and Scam actually asked Johan, he's like, we have this. So Johan was talking to us about how a team should be a safe space, and people should be more understanding, and you treat it like a relationship. You want to fix problems. So like then after Johan had a conversation, I just brought it up because I felt it in the room. Like everyone was thinking, it's like, Nick, why have you not played pubs this year? And he's like, he feels like pubs at home are not productive, and like basically he felt like it's he just doesn't want to play at home. He wants to spend time with his family and all. And I feel like for me, I wouldn't have had a problem if he said that in December when we talked to him about it. But the thing is, he said okay. He's like, I'll change, I'll play pubs. And I feel like it's already so unhealthy that in a team you feel like you need to lie to your
Yeah.
teammates. Like I think it's also like, I mean, from what I see, like I think Nikko has like very big respect for like Scam and his other teammates. So like their words are very strong on him, Like if he said something like that, there's this fear of being like ridiculed or something. And like 2 days later, like Scam brought it up and like made fun of him, stop playing PUBG. He's like, oh, you want to spend time with your family, don't want to play PUBG. And I told Scam to like apologize to him because I think that came from like a very deep place, you know, like we don't make fun of those things. And Scam apologized to him and everything was like kind of okay.
Scam.
But it's all these interactions that like kind of I think broke his confidence down as well. And by doing that, the team's confidence in him was also going down lower and lower, you know. And there was like no. Maybe I should take accountability for it because I felt like that I didn't know how to fix it.
Chip,
We tried like
gusto mo na,
I
Chip?
think
Eh,
May mga ano ngayon, may mga time na 'di ba nagpa-pub kami. Parang
Mm.
nagkakalaban-kalaban kami. Trash talkan kami. Yung sa walang trash talk.
yung mga kaltokan. Tangina niyo
Kasi
talaga.
nakikinig lang si Adam, tapos after nung pub namin sinabihan kami na ano, huwag na kayo mag-trash talkan.
Di ba, bakit di kasi talaga tayong ganun pagka nabibuild up siya. Okay lang siya sa okay lang siya at the moment. Pero pagka na-build up na kuwari, natatalo-talo na kayo, tapos mauulit. Doon nata nagkakaproblema eh. Pero yung kunwari at that moment, parang wala ka talagang pakialam.
Depende rin sa depende sa tao talaga. Kasi ako, okay lang ako makipag trash talkan, like sa mga kampi ko, parang ganun.
Ayun nga.
Kahit pag sa pub.
Hindi. Usually naman, halos lahat naman ata okay lang until na pag nagkatatalo na, tas stress na, tas parang magpapatong-patong siya. Ganun. Nabibuild up yung yung sama ng loob mo. Lalo na kung totoo. Puta, lalo na kung totoo, di ba? Kuha kasi scam, laging inaasang, yan, bobo ka, di ka kasi nagpa-pub. Di ba? Kumbaga unti-unti mababatog si Nikko. Talo ka sa lane. Tangin na kasi walang pub kahit isa.
Bobo!
You know, they watch replay together. Like, teams will tell him, like, Teams is not someone who like opens replays and watches with you, but he did it for Nikko, you know, and I think props to him for trying to be like a very good teammate. But ultimately, it just didn't work out, you know. I think we all tried in our own way. Some ways were a bit more harsh, some ways were a bit more chill, and at the end of the day, we didn't achieve the result we wanted. And when I say result, I don't mean like our placing or like how we played, but like it felt like in the team we could not get this player back to where we felt he should be. And ultimately, that's really what led to the change.
Okay, so I mean, even though from a fan perspective, we take a look at when you guys got to top 4 at I believe Blast in Feb. After that, the next 3 tournaments did not really have good placement, right? You couldn't make it past that group stage. So as a fan, it may seem like something drastic happened, but from what you're saying behind the scenes, it was just a constant demoralization and this issue that was just festering for so long. It was over time gradually wearing everyone off. But regarding the possible change up to Nikko, right, benching him and bringing in Toronto Tokyo, who were all of the players that you guys were looking at, and how did you guys arrive to Toronto Tokyo as the conclusion to replace Nikko on the offlane?
3 options. I mean, obviously at first I looked at Filipinos, right, which was Raven. I like Raven. I've worked with him before.
Chip,
Things like him as
sinadjust
well.
Oh, ayaw agad ni Scam. Si Scam ayaw, no?
Ayaw ng kampi ko eh. Sabi ko sinano na lang para may KUKUYS din, representative. Dalawa kami, parang ganun.
Ay, KUKUYS ka representative daw, puta. Kala mo, Gilas Pilipinas yung lalaki. Dre, paano Dre? Pa-consider si Nano, paka 2 KUKUYS, mas malakas ata.
Parang may lang ba? May buff contest sa KUKUYS.
Yun. Kumbaga may suporta ng community, no? Tangina mo talaga.
He was under contract with
Diablo,
so we just like kind of scratched the option. Then it went to DM, Notice, and Toronto, Tokyo. That was like the 3 people on our list. And I think we were considering Zico as well. That was like the 4th. So we were talking to DM, you know, like I've spoken to him before. So he was like the only person that in the list that I've ever actually talked to before. And we were going in like, it was going to happen. And then Yandex approached him. And he's like, hey guys, I'm so sorry to do this, but like, I need to go here because, you know, Yandex is better and no hard feelings at all. Like, I went to Yandex too, you know, like no hard feelings, like we cool, we still friends. And that happened. And then Noticed, I'm not sure what happened with Notice, but we spoke to Sanya first, and Sanya's Toronto, Tokyo, and he was very interested. And he talked to me about Dota, and I felt like I felt like this guy, his work ethic fits the team. And I think he brings a lot of experience and knowledge in the way he talks. Like, you know, we lost Dream League and I was talking to him because he was in KL with me. Like, it's just the two of us, you know, and some other guy that was looking Eric, who was looking after the house first because we were at the Aurora book. And, you know, and then he talks to me about Dota and he's like, you know, I think sometimes the conversations we have in draft are like wrong, like we're asking the wrong questions. And I feel like this kind of insight where you get from a bird's eye perspective, you know, it's not like I don't really know these things or like, but it's been a long time since like I've been reminded of this, you know. It's like sometimes you talk about wrong things, like how do you steer conversation, and you know, I think he's super chill, super easy to work with. But the reason I say the reason we failed was mainly at first we scrimmed for 2 days, okay, because it was hard to bring him over earlier. So we scrimmed for 2 days. In the scrim, nothing happened. First day of tournament, nothing happened. And during this period, he was like trying to teach us, or trying to share, not really teach, share his understanding of Dota with us. And I think we failed to keep ourselves while trying to adapt to what the way he shared his information. Like it was something that affected the players in a way. I think it's like partially my responsibility, partially the players to like keep what we have while taking in his input, you know. But it felt like it became very robotic, and also I think Sanya in game he felt like we were robotic, so he started talking more. So like it didn't help, you know. Instead of like asking questions like, hey guys, what do you want to do next? You know, like instead of guiding, it became like a more of a listen
Working.
to the leader, and we just kind of lost ourselves. I think
Working.
after the first day, I think everyone was like a bit follow and like nothing happening. I
That
think
is
even when it came
working.
to the drafting, like it kind of everything kind of felt that way. You know, it's like, oh, we're gonna adapt, we're gonna do better, we're gonna improve. But I think that's not what we needed. We needed to merge our ideas in a way where we both can function and find our middle ground. But it was we only had 1 day to figure it out. You know, we
Yeah.
played 2 day scrims. 1 day, the first day was like a stomp, right? We played this and it was like, oh, everything's good. You know, there are like no issues whatsoever. And then suddenly the next day we have like we have a talk. He shares to us about map and stuff. And I think everyone just got a bit lost from that. And
Kaya
yeah,
boss
that
Neil.
was kind of sad. But you know, I think all in all, we like each other, and we've talked about like this thing where we
Mama.
need to like merge our ideas. You know, like we can't just we can't get him to play like us, and we can't play like what he wants as well. But we need to find like our middle ground. We can like have balance, and I feel like the ability to have this conversation and the ability to agree and his work ethic as a person, I feel like everything's just green flags for me, you know, or for all of us. Like we had this talk as a team. Like for all of us, it's just
Uy, layo
let's make
naman
this
to.
work, you know.
Boss
Yeah.
Neil, layo.
So
Boss
at the end, it was like a team decision.
Ano, bo?
Yeah.
Si boss nil, lakas man lahat. Kala mo siya may tsura eh, no? Tanga mo, ikaw nga, hirap mahanap ng amo ko dahil pangit ka eh. Boss nil.
There
Dalawa
are
na, Chip,
a few
nagkamit
players,
sa akin,
this
Chip.
is,
Kagot ng
you
boss
know,
nila
Toronto,
to.
Tokyo,
Tanga ng boss nil to.
he is considered to be a greedier offlane. So how does that actually translate into what is OG's
Langit ko, Nicola, yung pagkain net.
style?
No, everyone says that, but who is not a greedy offlane? I feel offlane is like the greediest role. It's really only the carry or means that are like greedy or not greedy. I think. I feel like it's not about greed. Maybe the way they play is like a bit slower, but it's like that's so game dependent, right? Like if you're playing something when you're strong, you're gonna play like further up. If you're not, you're gonna play like down. It doesn't really matter. I think I think my 4 boys are like enough to spank, and I want a scaling offlaner. I think that's how I look at it, you know. And I feel like he is a scaling offlaner by default. That's how he plays, you know. He cares about his net worth a lot. He cares about his game a lot. And I think once we are able to merge that, I think we will look great as a.
Okay. And what about the hero pool? You know, like you were mentioning, some potential issues with Nikko not wanting to play some different heroes. Is Toronto Tokyo generally open in you know, as far as the commitment with your team goes, to try, you know, if you suggest a new hero, he will go out there, play 100 games, do whatever is needed to adjust to what the team wants to try out?
He was actually talking to me about this before he left Malaysia. He feels like sometimes heroes feel strong, and like if a hero's in meta, for example, Phoenix or Merta or Sanking, like he feels like it's our job as players to like go play pubs like 50 games in a row, like insta pick it, you know, every game. And after 50 games, you know, you bring it to scrims, you try it out, and only then if it doesn't work, then you can ban the hero, you know. But it's our kind of responsibility as players to do that, and I agree with it. You know, there are some heroes that you can't ignore,
Bakit na
and
ata?
you know,
Walang
honestly, as
ano,
a drafter,
Kuya
I think it's
Force?
a big luxury to have like free bans against the team. You know, whether when you play like this Phoenix, this Battle Rider, whatever, it's like kind of OP, the Murtas. You know, you either there's a tournament where you ban or pick it, and then there'll be the next tournament where in that 1 week period, everyone in scrims does not ban it and they play against it constantly and they figure it out. So that's what I've learned, and I feel like we are on the same page about what we need to do to move forward. So I think that's just something that's really nice for me. It's not like we struggle to get on the same page, it's just easy to talk to, and like I think naturally we kind of have similar ideas of like how we should work.
Okay. From what you're saying, it doesn't seem like, an all Philippine roster would maybe have more fluency in their communication in game.
Wala na to
There's
guys, no?
also a lot of cultural
Wala na ano si
similarity,
Kuya
I
Force
would
dito.
imagine, that makes it easier. But
Yun
you
ang
now have this
nabanggit.
European, Toronto Tokyo being a Russian player. Is there an
Ano
effect
yan?
on how the in-game communication happens, or because of how broken down the communication got with Nikko, Toronto Tokyo's level of communication just simply works because the baseline is already very low right now?
I think switching to English was like a bit hard for some of them. It's just not natural, right? Especially if you're talking to like Pinoy to Pinoy. Like if you're talking to Sanya, like I think English is like no problem at all. But for Scam to talk to Natsumi in English, it just feels very, very unnatural. In lane and all, if you're talking to just each other, it's not like a team thing, just speak Tagalog, it's whatever. And Sanya's cool too. So it's really only
Guys,
like
pag sa lane kami ni Scam,
the
nag-ano
bigger
kami ni
picture
Scam,
stuff
Bisaya,
that we
sa
speak
lane.
English.
Sa lane
At
namin.
least that's for now. I think once people are like more comfortable, I think everything's gonna be okay once we're in bootcamp together because people will be speaking English more.
Kasi parang ano tingnan pag
It's not that
nag-English.
English. It's not that their
Parang
English is bad
hindi
or anything.
comfortable.
It's just not natural. It's like
Yeah,
if I talk to my mom
Kahit
in
na nandyan.
Mandarin every day,
Yes.
and then suddenly you need to
Sa
speak
lane
Mandarin,
namin.
it's such
Kasi
a
di naman
it's
ano
like an
eh.
active button I
Parang
need
di
to
naman
click.
connected
It's
kay
just
Toronto
different,
Tokyo
and
yung
I
lane
think that
namin.
takes a bit of time. And
So
I
after
really do
laning,
believe
nag-ano na kami.
that it will
English
still work.
after
I don't
lane.
know if it
Like
was
mga 8
the.
minutes.
I'm
7
not a
minutes
believer
pataas.
in like trying to figure out if what was right, but I think we will do our best to make it work. We will make the decision right, and I feel like we owe it
Pero
to
for example,
ourselves. And
magi-gate kami sabay.
honestly, we owe it to
Siyempre,
Nikko as
mag-English
well.
kami
I
kay
think
Toronto.
he did put in a lot of
Sasabihin
effort
namin
for
na
what it's worth. Like I'm not flaming the guy
hey,
or
we're
what,
gating,
but
bro.
he did try his
Ayos ba?
hardest in
Ayos
his
ba
own
yung
way
ano
and
ko?
his own capability. Just didn't work out. No hard feeling.
Asay mo, Et?
Wala, boring na to, Chip. Yung ano, wala nang ano kay Nikko.
Di na.
Some of the charm
Oo.
and all team giving your hardest and
Hindi,
going
yung
to
gusto ng mga tao eh.
My
Yung ano eh.
perspective of this team is that at least the 4 of them are very hardworking, and
Hindi na
we
binibigay
should
si
do
Nikko,
what gives
legit
us the
ba?
best chance to achieve the best results.
What
We had like this Natsumi
Kailan ba na kayo mag-bootcamp, Et? Nakasama si Tokyo?
Second week ata, sa
play
May
that way, like
Second week ng May? Kailan ba next tournament nyo?
26.
Luntugol po? Gogi,
So,
isang
mag-ano
buwan.
ata kami, 1 week. 1 week before tournament. Bootcamp
One week
sa
before
Europe.
tournament kayo? Puta, sobrang tagal pa nga, no? 26 pa, no? So, wala na to? Wala na to, guys?
Wala na yan, oh.
Oo, sige.
Basa lang ng comments. Wait lang, basa tayo ng comments, Chip.
Basa tayo comments, okay. Wait lang.
Kem went hard on
Ay,
Nikko
Nikko.
when he said, I won't play with someone who doesn't take seriously what put
What
on the
put-
table.
What puts food on my... Ano? Ano yung
Di ko
sabihin nun?
na-gets, di ko na-gets.
Hindi ko dinagats yun, eh.
Hindi ko, ewan ko. Ewan ko.
I guess I take back some of my criticism. Now I understand why they stop playing Mars. Okay. Okay. Ayun na, waiting
Chip,
sa
Chip, baka may
reaction ng
comment dyan na,
KUKUYS.
they should kick their post one Natsumi. Wala naman,
Wait
no?
lang, wala yan. Iba, X ko agad.
Text mo agad, text mo agad.
So good to get insight info what happened. Okay, ito OG pan lang siya. Okay. Remember, oh, yan. Ito pa sa inyo ata ito, gago. Nabasa ko din to, no?
Ano yan?
I know. Remember Anna and Seb issue, and it was Seb who told these stories that Anna don't wanna play Dota 2 while in OG team because some people have different way to face burnout or like losing always have impact in the mentality. So let people or player do other games to chill out, give a break to their mind. Let them know what they are doing. So stop trying to act like he is not ready for the team. Nick, ano? Hirap basahin na ano ko. Nabasa mo?
Ha?
Basta ang sinasabi dito, ayun oh.
Parang, hindi kasi may ganito sa amin si Chip, si No-Tail. Parang
Okay.
si Ana daw, di siya nagdo-Dota.
Ayun nga.
Like, di siya nagdo-Dota. Iba't ibang games na laro.
Mhm.
Parang ganun.
Oo.
So, iba kasi malakas ka, parang, gets mo yung ano ko?
Oo, kumbaga pinaka ano lang is si Ana kasi ano na naka-innate na yung pagiging malakas. Kumbaga tayo kailangan natin mag-work hard para matuto, 'di ba? Si Ana, magaling na siya as is, no? May mga ganun talagang player, mga talented. Mga born to be fight na eh.
Delete yan yung ganun.
Oo. Ganun naman talaga. Kahit ako, ganun ako eh. Pagka hindi ako nagdodota, sobrang tanga ko. Tapos pag nagdodota na ako, natututo ako. Ganun lang.
Okay. Kala ko sobrang ano mo eh. Sobrang galing mo, di mo na mag-Dota. Yung ano,
Labo
gusto mong sabihin.
labo. Kailangan ko lagi open always for the learnings. Pagka kailangan nyo ng offlane na sige.
Kala ko post 4 ka na. Ba't offlane?
Joke lang yun, wago. Postpog, mo. Mag-postpog ako, nakita mo lako ako sa postpog. Bobo ka ata eh. Walang patawad ang puta.
Tapos na yung ano yung chip? Survival yung chip?
Bukas pa matatapos to eh. Naiingit si Natsumi, hindi makapag-Dota, mapupuna kasi. Ay, hindi makapag-RP, mapupuna kasi.
Yun nga, tangin na kasi ni Nikko. Kasalanan mo to, Nick. Dito rin ako maglaro ng ibang games. Bobo kasi.
Tangina.
Ano yung tanong ni ano? Boss Pins kanina.
Kahit ba nasa bootcamp kayo, nag-ano siya? Tawag dito? Naglalaro pa din siya ng ibang games?
I mean, yung naalala ko yung ano, yung break day. Kahit ako naglaro ko ng ibang games, yung break day. Tapos after ata, naglaro pa rin siya kahit hindi na ano, break day.
Okay. Kumbaga dapat pag break day lang, binibigyan naman kayo ng isang araw na time para maglaro ng kung ano-ano lang.
I mean, kahit anong gawin mo, di ba? Pag break day.
Pag break day. Walang maninita sa'yo. Okay. Gawang ganda ng ano mo ito.
Alin?
Nakikita ko yung ano mo yung videos mo ito. Gago, malaki sahod mo sa akin sa steak. Agent ako eh. Oo.
Ba't sabi ni Kyle, ano lang daw? Konti lang.
Kunti lang. Oh.
Ikaw pinipirano ni Kyle?
Agent Deep. Bobo si Kyle. Agent Deep ka.
Tapos ano pa siya kaya? Chip, 25%.
Kapal. Kyle, yung libag mo? Kapal. Grabe ka. Sinatsumi na yan, oh. Kahit 20% lang, baliw, okay na yan. 25 ang puta, masyadong kakapal eh.
Tingnan mo, yung una sa'yo. 20 pala sa'yo.
O sige na nga.
Ay, nga, 5 lang daw eh.
Makipag-discussion tayo. Kaya tayo, labot ka. Wait lang, makikakain muna ako.
Chip. Dota mo na ako, Chip.
Sinatsumi kasi labang ko,